It is looking like it's going to be a beautiful day again today here in Georgia, and we are excited to get some things done. Well, these two are doing excellent with their training on the food dishes. 2 separate dishes work great. I purposely gave him just a little bit in his dish so that he would finish before Khaleesi, and then I stood between her and her food dish and him and just kept my body language saying no. As he moved, I would move, and kept my body language saying no, that he was not supposed to go to her in her dish and eat her food. And it worked. He ended up actually submitting and sitting down in front of me. And then I told him what a good boy he was. He liked that part. He liked it when I pet him and tell him he's a good boy. He is a very smart, very easy to train dog. It is amazing. I did not expect to have such success training an LGD. And I think the reason why he has been so much easier to train than most LGDs is because of the English Mastiff. English Mastiff is not the typical LGD breed. It's not considered a livestock guardian dog. It is a guard dog, but not a livestock guard dog. Even though I have read historical reports of them being used to guard flocks. And I know that his dad is a working dog. His dad guards a flock. So he has in his own genetic line directly descended from livestock guardians. So because of that, I think that's really made a difference. He's more likely to be a livestock guardian from his dad's side, even though his dad is the English Mastiff, because his dad has been raised with goats and chickens and has a perfect temperament for them. Goats are loving this section of forage. I see them along the fence line a lot. There's a lot of privet, blackberry up there, and there's this whole section right here is Queen Anne's lace. I haven't really seen them eat a lot of Queen Anne's lace, but they're eating some. It is a relative of the carrot family, and I'm hoping to do a video on that in my foraging series, so be looking out for that soon. If you haven't already, make sure you mark the bell next to subscribe so that you will get notifications when new videos come out. This right here is my secret Hearts trap. The other goats don't usually come right back, but usually Hearts does, and she gets to eat it all. Fancy looked like she was just about to come over here because she sees me, so I better run off so she doesn't find the food and eat it all. So I personally think Hearts has put on weight. I don't see as many ribs showing, and she just seems more aggressive when we do the group feeding. So she gets grain with everybody in her stall. And with that group feeding, she's way more aggressive now. Like, she doesn't let anybody push her away from the food. So she's doing better just by watching her attitude and the way she behaves. She seems to be feeling great. So much so that we stopped giving her yam and yogurt smoothie because her rumen doesn't seem to be depleted at all. It seems to be working great. And she's definitely eating well. So we will continue to provide that if we see that she seems a little sluggish or something. Unfortunately, Bo is still not feeling 100%. His diarrhea, he still has diarrhea, and he's still just a little bit sluggish. I decided to give him the activated charcoal this morning just in case there is a toxin, and I'm gonna come back in 2 hours and give him the GI soother. You always want to wait 2 hours before or after giving activated charcoal to give any other medication, because the activated charcoal will neutralize the medication. I found that out after I started using activated charcoal. I was actually mixing it with the herbs at first, and I didn't know that it was not supposed to be given with anything else. And so now I know. So I'm making sure I share that with you guys because it was something I didn't know when I first started using it. The ducks have stopped laying, I'm assuming because of the heat, It has been really hot here. So I'm hoping that as the temperatures cool off in the fall, I'll have eggs again and be able to hatch some of them. But I was really thinking that they would lay through the summer. Kind of surprised that they're not. If anybody has any advice, you know, they're getting layer pellets. They have fresh water all the time. I don't know. I don't know why maybe it's a predator thing. Maybe whatever got their eggs that they were sitting on has been scaring them at night, and that's scared them out of laying eggs. Or maybe there's a nest I don't know about hidden somewhere. All right, which one of you's just crowed? Are you gonna do it again? I just heard one of you little babies crow. No, not you, Red. One of yous did it. I suspect this one closest to me is a male, but that black one could be too. He's got puffy cheeks, like an Easter egger, but the comb is really red, so that might be, oh, the black and white one. I didn't even suspect that one of being a rooster. What do you know? I might have more roosters than I thought then, because I was suspecting that's a rooster, and the way that one's standing up tall makes me think rooster. And now I'm wondering if that one's a rooster. So I may only have two hens, that one and that one. And that one we don't know yet either. It's hard to tell on naked necks. Interesting. You think anybody else is gonna crow, Liam? Who's gonna crow? Oh, you look like a hen too. So at least 3 hens. I think it's so cool and kind of funny that my asparagus tends to send out shoots all summer. Does everybody's asparagus do that, or am I just lucky? I know that I should leave it, but I also know a bite of asparagus right about now sounds really good. So different when it's fresh from the garden. It's like kind of like a green bean. Really good. Not bitter. Really sweet. I love it. I don't know if I told you guys that I did find that my strawberries had survived underneath here. So we do have some strawberry plants that seem to be thriving. So if you watched yesterday's video when I showed you how big my broadleaf plantain was, check this out. I was keeping it a secret, but I knew it was here and I wanted to show you guys. This is insane. Down here, under the asparagus fronds, lives the biggest plantain that ever existed. It is amazing. What's that? It tastes like green beans? You like it? Liam saw me eating asparagus and he said, I want one, so I had to go find him one. It's delicious. You are a muddy, dirty boy.
Yeah.
You played in the mud while you were helping Mama?
Yeah.
You like helping Mama in the barn?
Yeah.
You're a good helper.
Yeah.
Don't put your fingers in your mouth, they're dirty. Yeah, put that in your mouth, that's delicious. I'm so glad you like eating raw asparagus just like Mommy. Good job, buddy. How's it taste?
Yummy.
It is yummy. Oh, look, our little pepper we just planted's got flowers already. That's awesome. I think this is the lemon drop pepper, which I love. These blueberries are ripening. Ha, that's funny. You can see where the birds pecked at it. We need to get them in the ground. We need to plant them, huh, Liam?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Who are you? Somebody moved into my mulch? What could it be? What are your votes, guys? I say rodent. Most likely a rat. No telling though. Could be anything. Some of you may know I set up a Patreon account a while back. I've never mentioned it in a video until yesterday when I was signing off, and I very briefly mentioned it. One of the reasons why I haven't mentioned it is because I don't want to scare anybody away from our channel and think that we're just trying to make money. We're not just trying to make money. Our main goal is to teach people all of the skills that we know. Everything we know about homesteading and living off the land and being sustainable. We want to share that with everyone, regardless if you can afford it or not. So we want it to be free material. So what I'm going to offer is, of course, you know, we could always use the help. Everybody can use the help. We spend a great deal of time producing these videos, editing them, and getting them ready for you guys. And we put a lot of our heart and soul, time and energy into it. So if you are able to support that in any way you can, Patreon can be as small as $1 a month, and that's still helpful and kind and generous if you're able to do that. If you're able to do more, great, but we're not asking for anybody to do it that can't do it. If you are not in the financial means to do so, I would like to offer whatever Patreon material we end up putting up. Once we have enough people committed to Patreon, we're gonna start uploading stuff that's gonna be exclusive to Patreon, or published on Patreon before it's published on YouTube. So there will be some ability to get a little extra stuff there. But if you are not financially capable, please send me a private message. Please send me an email, and I will provide you with that information for free. I am not going to let anybody who cannot afford to make a small contribution to our channel and support our family and homestead not get the information, because that would be counteractive to what I want. I want to teach everybody this stuff. I just really am hoping that I can make a little bit of money from teaching people this stuff so that I can continue doing it. I'm gonna continue doing it either way, just so you know. This is not an all or nothing. I'm just hoping to help cover some of the costs, and hopefully, you know, just get paid for some of my time. And if you're interested in participating on Patreon, that's great, and thank you, I appreciate it. If you're not, that's fine too. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. And if you want to do Patreon but you can't afford to, let me know, and I will make sure that you can get that content as well. I've always done my eggs on a sliding scale, where my price for my eggs were whatever you can afford. Some people pay $3, some people pay $1, some people pay $6. So I'd like to offer the educational content that way as well. So whatever you feel you can afford is great, and if you can't afford anything, I'll still make sure you get it if you're in a situation where you can't afford it. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share it with your friends, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and make sure you ring that bell to get notifications. We'll see you next time on Wholesome Roots.